Canada is connected by 2030. The Honourable Member for Repentigny. The government is using accounting tricks to hide the fact that it's still spending our money on Trans Mountain. In the spring, the Minister of Finance announced there would be no more government spending on the Trans Mountain pipeline. But West Coast environmental law says that just to pay the interest on the pipeline's debt, it's costing us $750 million this year and $800 million next year. By the end of 2023, the taxpayer's share of the pipeline cost will reach, brace yourself, Madam Speaker, $17 billion. How much will Quebecers have to pay for Canada to keep on polluting more and more?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Natural Resources and to the Minister of Northern Affairs.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And I think it's important for my colleague to remember that if you really want to address climate change, it means making bold moves and bold investments. When you consider projects like the TMX...
Interpretation, I believe. C'est le problème encore une fois. Okay.
Is there a problem with interpretation again?
Working. Okay. The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary can restart.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to point out for my colleague that when you want to see climate change, that means you have to invest to make it happen. When you look at a comprehensive plan like we have as a government to address climate change, it considers projects like the TMX. It is focused on reducing the amount of oil that is being shipped by rail. It enables Canadians to secure a full value for its oil resources. And going forward, we will continue to focus on the best climate change measures that we can implement to reduce emissions and fall in line with our net zero commitments.
The Honourable Member for Repentigny. Madam Speaker, okay, so the solution to climate change is more oil? We've known since day one that the Trans Mountain pipeline was not financially or environmentally viable, but we didn't know the taxpayer would be on the hook for $17 billion. Another $17 billion in public money will be invested in the oil sands right in the middle of a climate crisis. That's the price of letting the Government of Canada decide for us where to invest our money on climate change. Do they really think Quebecers would have chosen to sink their money into a failed pipeline in the West? The Honourable Minister of Finance, of Tourism, rather.
I know, as do Western MPs and all Canadians, that Canada needs to get its resources to market, particularly at a time when we need to help fuel the world. When we get our resources to market, it will help us get the world price of oil, which will help us to fund the transition to net zero. Our government does not intend to be a long-term owner of this asset. We will be moving forward with a divestment process, and it will be a good asset for all Canadians.